Okay. So from your steady and sweet seat, feeling connected and long, wide shoulders, just start with the sighs 3 times through. And let that transition into the calming and cooling breath in through the nose. Out through a small space between the lips, maybe shaking your head and drifting the chin down. And then deepening your diaphragmatic breath as you inhale, letting the breath slowly come in and loosen its way down your body. And as you exhale, letting the breath engage and tighten your body slowly back up. And working our way into the bee's breath. Inhale and reach your arms up. And as you exhale, bringing your hands down into Lotus Mudra. Breathe in. Um, um, um. As you breathe in, reach your arms up. And exhale, bring your hands behind you, slipping your feet out in front of you. With your arms long but not locked and your waistline long, just start to let the knees float left to right and letting them take up more space as they get a little looser. Good. Bring your knees to center, extend your legs out in front of you, thump them down. And bring your legs right back into Sukhasana. Spine nice and straight and long. Inhale, breathe in. And as you exhale, right hand to left knee, left hand behind you. Start with the rolling of the shoulders down, lengthening the spine. Press through the tips of your fingers and then lift your gaze up and over your shoulder. Nice full breath in. When you exhale, look over your front shoulder, breathing in when you get there. And when you exhale, rotating your head, letting the ear hover above your shoulder. And then reverse, looking over your shoulder, breathe in. As you exhale, turn your head and look over your shoulder. This time, use your hands for a little more leverage in your twist. And release. Come back to center, lean back into your hands, bring the feet out again, knees bent, and let the knees rock from side to side. And bring your knees to center, extend the legs out in front of you, thump the legs down. And come back into your seat. Inhale, reaching your arms up. And exhale, twisting to the other side. Start with the fingertips. Feel your arms extended, the fingertips touching the body and the floor. Then lengthen up the spine, roll the shoulders down and back, then turn your gaze over your back shoulder. Feel the gaze lifting up just a little bit to keep the length of your spine. And as you exhale, turn your gaze over your front shoulder. Breathe in. As you exhale, rotating your head, maybe slacking the jaw a little bit. And looking over the shoulder, breathe in. And looking over your back shoulder, using your arms for a little more leverage once again. And releasing one more time through, lean back into your hands, step the feet down, rock your knees from left to right. And extending the legs out, thumping the backs of the legs down one more time. And this time, bring the soles of your feet together and come right back into Baddha Konasana, soles of the feet together. Take 3 butterfly breaths. Inhale, lifting the knees. Exhale, lowering. And lifting. And lower. And lift. And lower. Slide the feet forward, moving into tortoise. So you're going to rock over to one side, slide your arm under, rock over to the other side, slide the arm under. Get the body low, kind of rounding the back and lowering the head. And then just kind of settle into it for a breath. And then lifting into flower. So lifting your gaze, flipping your palms, kind of lifting up. And then lengthening your spine. Feel how the shoulders go down when you lift through the spine. And then bring your hands up, bring the knees together, reaching out your hands. So right here, you're in a variation of boat. If you feel a little slouchy in your spine, you can just touch your toes down, lengthen the back, broaden the shoulders, engage behind your belly button, and lift your feet back up. And then from here, toe tap. Good. Coming down onto our back from here, just to continue warming up the hips. Just pull your knees in, roll down onto your back, and rest for a moment. Once you feel the back fully release into your mat, you can start that rocking around a little bit, that playful movement. And then we'll do our Pavana Muktasana and then open the knee and then close the knee into a twist. So from where we are on the ground with the knees bent and the feet off the floor, bring your hands over to your left knee and stretch your right leg out and then lower the heel down to your mat. Inhale, pull the left thigh to the tummy, feel the shoulders get really heavy, and then curl up, tucking into your knee. Curling back down, shoulders get heavy again, and soften the hold on your knee. Inhale, knee to chest. Exhale, curling up. Inhale, curling down, opening the shoulders, and softening your knee. One more time through. So starting with opening the knees. So use your right hand to weigh down the hip of the right leg and use your left hand to support the left knee as it starts to open to the left. So you're just kind of holding on to it, letting the left knee open to the left. And if this feels good and your whole body's not rolling to the left, you can then change your hand and press on the inside of the left leg a little bit just to get a little more stretch. And it's good to press on the right hand too, so it's almost like you're stretching them apart. And then let your left hand help your left knee come back to center. Be sure to relax your right leg first, and then right hand to left knee, left arm extends. Bring the left knee across the body into your twist. As you come back through center, keep your left knee bent. Now bend your right knee, place the foot on the floor, cross the left ankle over your right knee. Do that little chicken wing movement back and forth. And then as you push the knee out, lift your right foot off your mat, grab your right thigh. Start with that side to side movement. And then bring in a little bit of that pull, pulling the legs closer to your torso, deepening the stretch along the back of the hip. And then releasing your hand from your right thigh. Bring your right hand to your left foot. Bring your left hand to your left knee. Place the right foot back down on the mat. You can leave it bent or you can extend it all the way through and come into that rocking motion with the left leg. And then releasing your left foot when the left ankle comes back in line with the left knee. Flex your foot, extend it up to the sky. Push out through both heels. One's on the ground, one is in the air. Just push through, kind of press down through your lumbar spine into your mat. And then bend both knees, hug them in, and rock around. Bringing your hands now over to your right knee. Push your left heel out, and then lower the left heel down to the ground. Inhale, pull the thigh against the tummy. Exhale, curl up. Inhale, curl down and soften the hold on your knee. Two more. Pull the thigh to the tummy, nice wide shoulders, and then curl up, tucking in. As you curl down, come back to the nice wide shoulders and soften your hold. Last one. And as you release, bring your left hand to your left hip, weighing it down. Bring your right hand to the outside of your right thigh. Support it as it travels open. And you might stay supporting it if you feel like your lower back is just a little bit cranky, or if you feel like your body's wanting to roll to the right. But if you get there and you feel pretty stable, you can take your right hand to the inside of your right leg. And again, give it just a little nudge, a friendly nudge. And keep your left hand pushing down so it feels like they're working the body apart. And then bringing your knee to center. Remember to relax your left leg and then bring the right knee across the body. Working your way back to center. As you do so, keep the right knee bent. Bend the left knee, placing the left foot on the mat, crossing your right ankle over. Do that in and out motion. When you push the knee away again, lift your left foot up, grab onto it, and start to rock from side to side. And then as you rock from side to side, bring a little more pressure. So you're going to pull the legs closer to you. Feel a little more of that stretch and give. And then bring the body to still. Release your thigh. Instead, bring your right hand to your left foot. Bring your left hand to your right foot. You guys know what you're doing. Come into that cradle. Placing the left foot down, maybe extending it all the way out, and rocking the right leg. And releasing your foot. When your ankle gets back in line with your knee, flex your feet, extend the leg up, and just for a moment, push out through both heels. And bend the knees, hug them in. From here, allow your body to just kind of stretch out onto your mat. Shavasana like, but try to bring your body into more of a star shape. Take up a little more space than you might take up in Shavasana. So our seasonal symbol today is the star, which I think is really fitting for today. Not only is the sunshine a star, but if you got to see the fireworks last night, it just looks like all of these beautiful star-like explosions in the sky. And from where we were, we went and climbed up to the top of our hill, and we got to see all kinds of fireworks, starting from 8 o'clock at night, going until 10:15. But what I noticed was even better is as we were coming down and the fireworks were pretty much over, the amount of stars in the sky were just amazing. And it it kind of makes me want to be more of a night person than I am, because I feel like I'm just missing so much beauty by being able to see the sky at night and all of those stars and how just beautiful and just kind of miraculous that they are. But the star, the symbol, invites us to aspire. And as you rest in this star-like pose, I'll just begin to read a little bit about what Maya has to say about the star. Starlight, star bright, first star I see tonight. We first learn about stars early in life through nursery rhymes and picture books, and by simply lying on our backs on a hot summer night and gazing upwards. If we're lucky, the night is clear and bright, and we can see not just the stars, but the path of the Milky Way wandering between them, a cosmic highway headed toward infinity. So give yourself one last moment right here, just maybe giving yourself a memory of a time in your life. Maybe you were very little, maybe it was very recent, maybe a night when you went camping or stayed out late with friends. You just gave yourself a moment to do nothing but gaze up in wonder at the night sky. And you recall how it felt, how it made you feel. Take one more breath right here. And start to bring your star limbs back to center, hugging your knees in. So right here, let's just kind of try to do this little like swim thing on our back. So from where you are with your knees in and your arms on your hands on your knees, try to kind of extend out through all four limbs and then come back to center. It's a little easier on your back if you start kind of moving up and then extending out and then extending out through the legs and then letting the arms and the legs float towards the ground and then lifting them up and bending and coming back to center. It's a little more gentle on the back if you start up and out and down. So just kind of do that a few times. If you've ever seen one of those balls that you can kind of spring into center and then make really wide, it should feel a little bit like that. I don't know what those balls are called. Last two. And coming right back to center. Hug your knees in, rock around. And then you can turn to your side and push up to your seat, or you can rock front to back and rock up to your seat. Give yourself a moment to come back to your diaphragmatic breath. Inhale and reach your arms up. As you exhale, come forward towards hands and knees. And once you get there, just kind of lift right off your hands. Come up to standing on your knees. So from standing on the knees, make sure your tailbone feels a little bit tucked. Your spine feels nice and long. Shoulders are wide. We're going to take those little side bends that we usually do standing. So bring your arms straight out in front of you. And just like that little kind of push back, you're just going to kind of push back, kind of hover above the heels, and then rise up. And as you rise up, side bend. Coming up through center, kind of starting to sit back and then lengthen up and side bend. We're going to do that to each side a few more times, reaching up, sitting back, rising up, and side bend. Up. As you lean back, stay nice and long through the core. Don't lean back so much that your knees complain about it. Your knees start to complain, that's your stopping point. And if your knees start to complain right away, just take that part out. Take this one more time to each side. Coming right up through center, bring your arms down, step your left foot forward. So your legs are in those 90-degree angles. Put your hands on your knee for a moment. Let the tail tuck just a little bit. Now scoot your front foot forward. And then lean in and draw back. When you draw back, you can just come right back to neutral, especially the first couple of times. But then you might want to include in the pulling back just a little bit more. So you can get here and then lift your back, lift your toes up a little bit so you can kind of sit back. And if you're taking that variation where you sit back, really notice your hips because it's pretty easy to leave the long-legged hip forward and to not get the fullness of this stretch. So you'll kind of want to hip hike it so the hips feel pretty even. You'll get a way bigger stretch down through the calf. You do that little tiny added adjustment at the end, pulling back. And as you pull back, pull this front hip back a little more and then lean in. One more on the side. As you lean in, come all the way forward, place your right hand down on the ground, kind of adjust through the tummy and the torso and reach up. And bring your hand down, step your back knee back. Take either child's pose or a few rounds through cat-cow, whichever you think would make your body a little more happy. And then rising back up to standing on your knees. We'll do the side bend to each side just once. So reaching your arms out in front of you, doing that little lean back, coming up, going to one side, coming up, doing that little lean back, coming up, going to the second side, and up, bringing your arms down, stepping your opposite foot forward, pausing right here with those good 90-degree lines. Make sure your toes lift, you feel nice and stable. You can feel your tummy, you can feel your tailbone, and then scoot your front foot forward and lean in and come back to straight for the first couple of times. And then optionally starting to add in that additional stretch and movement. Pushing the sit bones back, lifting your front toes, bringing the front legged foot, probably your right one, back just a little bit more. And last time through. So as you come forward this time, lean in, bring your hand down and reach. Good. Bring this hand down, slide your leg back. Okay, settle into your child's pose, and then we'll start to move through kind of the low portion of the sunrise salutation. So just kind of bring yourself into this space, take a nice full breath, feel the body expand, and then relax. Lifting your gaze, extending your arms out in front of you if they're not there already. And then bring your body all the way between your hands. Again, pressing the shoulders back, lengthening through the waist and through the tummy. And so here you are in plank on your knees. So to begin, we'll bend the elbows and come all the way down. You might pause before you release the whole body to the floor. And then release the whole body to the floor. Kind of give your hands a little tug on your mat, roll the shoulders, point your toes, lift your heart and your gaze. So when you're in Cobra, you feel really active here. Your hands are definitely glued to your mat, but pulling back. Your shoulders are wide. Your heart is straining to reach forward. Your elbows are tucked into your sides, and then you lower down. Keep that energy at the belly button, pressing up through plank on the knees, tucking your toes, lifting your knees up, and hinging up into downward facing dog. So from downward facing dog again, nice wide hands, heels are reaching towards the mat, and you might alternate. You might bend one knee and press to the opposite heel. And then from this downward facing dog, come right forward into plank, and you can bring your knees down at any time, or you can leave them up. So again, you're gonna lower part way, you might hover, and then come all the way down. Inhaling cobra, exhaling prone, inhaling plank on the knees, exhaling downward facing dog. Downward facing dog can also be switched out with child's pose at any time. But after the next round, we're going to add in one more option for a pose right here. So as you're ready, coming forward, plank or plank on the knees, lowering part way, chaturanga, lowering all the way down prone, blooming into cobra, coming right back down to prone, pressing up to plank on the knees, pressing back to either child's pose or downward facing dog. In downward facing dog, give yourself a few breaths. Don't hold your breath. Don't hold your body static. Feel your body adjusting, lengthening, strengthening. And if you can't feel that, then just work through your heels. It's one really good place to get movement in. And then we'll move through one more time. And then we come to this downward facing dog, we'll add in an option. Coming forward to plank, lowering part way, then all the way, then cobra, then prone, pressing up, and coming into downward facing dog. So from right here in downward facing dog, you can lift your left leg up, bend your left knee, and roll open. Again, it's kind of like a fire hydrant variation of dog. And then step down, move forward into plank, move slowly down to prone, loom your heart into cobra, back down to prone. Press up through gentle plank. This time go back to down or to child's pose, excuse me, and give your hands a moment to kind of take a counter pose. So as you rest your sit bones over your heels and your tummy on your thighs, you might flip your hands so that your palms are face up, and then curl your fingers into your palms, and then flex your wrist, like you're bringing your wrists closer to your forearms. Then you might extend through the fingers and then curl back into those kind of curled in fists. And extend and curl. One more time. And then from this child's pose, reaching the arms out, coming right into downward facing dog. So reaching the torso forward, tucking your toes, lifting your knees, lifting your hips. And then this time, lifting the right leg up, bending the right knee, rolling open. Stepping the foot back down. Inhale, plank. Exhale, prone. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, prone. Inhale, plank on your knees. Exhale, 2 breaths in child's pose, maybe with that wrist variation. Inhale, coming forward towards plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg splits, bend the knee, rolling open. Squaring back up, stepping the foot back down. Inhaling forward to whichever plank, lowering down as you exhale to prone. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, prone. Inhale, pressing up and pressing back for 2 breaths in child's pose, maybe with that wrist variation. And then we'll finish off on that second side, extending the arms out. Inhaling forward, tucking your toes, exhaling downward facing dog. Lifting the right leg up, bending the right knee, rolling. And stepping it back down. This time, bring your knees down and choose to either take a moment in child's pose or to come up to your seat, either your hero seat or your steady and sweet seat. In school, we learn that a star is far away fire and that its light has traveled millennia to reach us. We try to wrap our brains around looking at light that has traveled distances so vast that the star that created it may no longer exist. So a star is a thing and a holograph of a thing. It's the actual star, and the light has traveled and traveled until it reaches our eye. As we lie on our backs contemplating this conundrum, this vastness, it begins to feel that anything is possible. That the universe is mystical and mysterious in ways that we haven't yet begun to comprehend. So from where you are, either in Sukhasana, Hero's Pose, or Child's Pose, we're going to work our way up. So if you came into your seat like I did, roll back over, eventually working your way up into downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, set your gaze at your hands, bend your knees, bring your feet forward, one foot at a time. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, chair. Inhale all the way up and bring your arms down. Before we dive right in, let's take a few monkey drums and a couple of rounds of Brahma Dandasana. So just kind of start with that nice swing through the body. Slowing that down and moving right into Brahma Dandasana. So turning your feet up to a 45-ish degree angle. Feet are kind of wide, still nice and steady through the pelvis. Inhale, reaching your arms up. And as you exhale, bending your knees, hands to heart center. Knees are tracking in the same direction. The toes are pointing, and if they're not, change your toes. Make sure you can feel your pelvis gently tucked, if not straight and neutral. Hands to heart center, lifting through the elbows. Inhale, reach up. Right here, feel very star-like, and as you hinge, maybe kind of like a little falling star, shooting star. Bend your elbows, pull back, and sunflower down. Inhaling up. And coming right through center. Rising up. And hinge. Bend and pull. And sunflower down. Move through Brahma Dandasana 2 more times. And all the way up. Bringing your hands down. Okay. So the sunrise salutation that I really like brings in that element of warrior one or high lunge. I really like that little addition. So that's kind of what we'll work on right here. So inhale and reach your arms up. And as you exhale, sit down into chair. As you inhale, come up, find that little bit of a back bend. And then as you exhale, nice and neutral through the spine, hands come to your hips, knees bend, and you can step back either into high lunge or warrior one. So you're just gonna step back. If you're coming into warrior one, turn the foot, and then reach your arms up. If you're in warrior one, you can have a little more give to the body, so you can kind of arch and move. If you're in high lunge, you want to stay just a little more straight and long because your heel's not anchored. And then from whichever one you came into, lean forward, bring your foot back, rising back up, find that little bit of a back bend, and then straight spine, come right down into chair with hands heart center. We'll move to the second side, rising up, a little bit of a back bend, spine back to neutral, hands to your hips, knees bend, step back with your opposite foot. Finding high lunge first, maybe, and then warrior one, or however your feet like to find which version of the pose you want. Bringing your arms into it in any way that you like. You can keep them on your hips. You can bring them into cactus. You can bring them to heart center. You can reach them up. And then coming back forward. Remember to bring the spine diagonally long and step up. Find a neutral. Come back down into chair. And we'll just flow this way. So you're going to reach up. Come to neutral. Start to squat down, but step your foot back before you get to chair. Come into your variation of lunge or warrior one. And then hinging forward, feet together, reaching up. Feeling the back bend, coming down into chair. Reaching up. Coming down into prep and stepping right back. And then finding again those variations that you like in your lunge or warrior one movement. Hinging forward, stepping through, rising up. When you come into these little back bends, the trick is to keep your knees pretty relaxed and to relax the front of your pelvis. Because as you arch back, your pelvis, if it's kind of, I guess, like Play-Doh, it'll naturally just bend forward or ease forward, getting you a little more arch. You're not pressing it forward. You're just kind of finding this natural arc where the hips just naturally come an inch or two more forward from where they are to increase the bend of your back. And then coming forward, bending the knees, stepping back. So it's really just about keeping that plasticity of the knees and the front of the pelvis. If you kind of create it like rock solid, like you're trying to engage it and stay really sturdy, that's going to restrict your motion in your back bends. If you just think of the body, front of the body is soft, it's kind of like warm clay, and then coming back down. So we'll take this movement to each side one more time, and then we'll kind of put it all together. If you feel like you have balanced on each side, you're kind of ending where you began, then you can end in chair pose and hold that for a moment, or you can stay in Tadasana. If you feel like you still need to do the other side like I do, give yourself that time to move through, to balance out. And then coming right into Tadasana. You can put one hand on the heart and one hand on the belly. Make sure you're feeling that diaphragmatic breath. And then we'll put the whole sequence together. We'll move through our sunrise salutation with the open-legged variation in downward facing dog and with the warrior one or high lunge variation when we get to the top. So starting at the top of your mat, bringing your arms down by your sides. As you inhale, reach your arms up. And as you exhale with bent knees, come all the way down to your forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, bend your knees. You're going to plant your hands and step back into downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, come forward into plank, lowering your knees if you'd like. And then slowly lowering through. There might be that pause of chaturanga before releasing all the way down to the ground. Inhale, rolling open for cobra. Exhale, prone. Pressing up to plank on the knees, tucking your toes, downward facing dog. Give yourself a moment for downward facing dog, and then when you're ready, splitting the left leg up, bending your left knee, rolling the left hip open, squaring the left hip, stepping your left foot to your hands, leave it there. Either high lunge, you're going to leave the right heel lifted, or for warrior one, you're going to ground down through the right heel, then rising up. Reaching the spine forward in that diagonal line. If you came to warrior one, remember to lift your back heel, then step the back foot to the front foot, rise, and sit down into chair. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, bend your knees, plant your hands, step back into downward facing dog. Inhale, plank. Exhale, lowering through chaturanga to prone. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, prone. Inhale, plank on the knees. Tuck your toes, downward facing dog. Give yourself a moment. Now split your right leg up. Bend your right knee, open to the right. Square back up and step the right foot through to the hands. Finding your lunge feet or your warrior one feet, and then rise up. Lean forward. If you're in warrior one, lift your back heel. Step through. Nice lift, and then come down to chair. We did it. Rise up. And all the way down, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. We're going to step back into downward facing dog again so that we can come into pigeon on each side. So once you get into downward facing dog, you feel nice and steady. Lift your left leg up, bend your left knee. Once again, roll open. And then as you start to square up, slide the knee forward, bringing the shin down at an angle and dragging your back leg back. As always, I like to start with a little bit of that lift in pigeon. So you might be there for a moment. Should feel pretty good after all of those lunges that we did. And then come on down to your forearms and maybe finding that little rock. Maybe keeping with that rocking motion, or maybe let the rocking motion slow to still. And starting to lift your gaze, walking your hands closer to your body, bringing your back leg a little bit closer as well, putting a little bit of energy so you can round up, finding your hands in your knees, tucking your toes, lifting again to downward facing dog. Give yourself a minute to really be in that movement. And then this time, lifting the right leg up, bending the right knee, rolling open. And as you square up, bringing the right knee forward, setting the shin down at an angle, dragging the back leg back, rising up. Again, this should feel pretty good after all of those big movements. I'm sorry if it doesn't. Walking forward, coming down onto your forearms, taking that movement from side to side for as long as you'd like. The option of slowing it down to still. Lifting your gaze, walking your hands closer back to your body, taking the back long leg, scooching it in a little bit, and then rounding up, pausing right here now on hands and knees. From this space, just move through a few rounds of cat-cow. And then bringing your feet out to your right side, sitting down onto your left hip. We'll come into our Bharadvajasana twist. Nice and long through the spine. Twist away from your feet. Right hand to left knee, left hand behind you. Pressing down through the fingertips, long through the spine. Open through the shoulders and look over your back shoulder. Releasing as you swim your fin to the second side. Start with a nice long spine, twisting away from the feet, work through the shoulders, and then work through the press and the lift of the twist. And releasing all the way back to center, coming right through. And we'll work our way back down to our mat, and we'll stretch out like a star one more time. So coming all the way down, hugging your knees in. And just like that weird ball that I was talking about, let's start with that movement there. So you're going to let the hands and the legs start to work their way up and then out and then float towards the ground and then come back up and in. Do that just a couple more times before we let go into a star variation of Shavasana. As you extend out, I don't know about you guys, my legs are not going to want to lay down. My arms are going to be fine. So I'm just going to kind of relax my legs, bring my feet down, and then extend one leg out at a time. So however it works for you, so I'm in this nice big star variation. Make sure you lift your shoulder blades up and tuck them under your body. Adjust your hips wherever they need to be. And just rest in this beautifully open variation of Shavasana. The star is an icon of pure inspiration and aspiration, a beacon of possibility. I wish I may, I wish I might have this wish, I wish tonight. Sitting across the wheel of the year from the hearth, the star is fire, striving outward, reaching across light years to remind us of hope and the magic of going the distance. What do you aspire to? What magical dreams are you nurturing? The gift of the seasonal symbol of the star is a willingness to be able to reach for the stars and to believe that anything is possible. But just as anything, it has two sides. And the thing that you want to be wary of or mindful of is when we fling our energy so far out, we have the probability of becoming unmoored, so to speak. And we can have trouble grounding our dreams in soil where they can root. So as you think about things that you may still be aspiring towards, think about also making sure that you keep that tendril of root in the ground where they can still be nourished, where they can still take seed and root and grow and actually become something other than just a dream. So just one more breath right here. And then start to wiggle the fingers and the toes. Start to bend the knees and draw the limbs back towards center. Hug your knees in and rock around a little bit before eventually working your way right back up into your seat. Inhale and reach your arms up. And as you exhale, wrap them around yourself in a loving embrace. Inhale, reach your arms up. And as you exhale, hands come down. Inner starlight in me sees and honors the inner starlight in each and every